Welcome, Build Grow Crafters. Today we are going to build a raised garden bed for strawberries. This is my strawberry and blueberry patch, and originally I had the strawberries growing and doing whatever they wanted, but we started having a problem with slugs eating the strawberries before we could eat the strawberries. Another problem we had was crabgrass trying to take over the bed here. That's why I'm layering cardboard down extra thick to kind of prevent that crabgrass from growing through. Supplies needed for this project are 2 by 10 by 12 foot boards. These are yellow pine boards and they are not ground contact treated. When I'm building raised beds, I usually treat it with 2 coats of linseed oil. Cutting for this project is minimal. I'm keeping original 12-foot links and only cutting 4 end pieces that are 42 inches wide. We are pre-drilling where our screws will be going with a drill bit that is just a little bit smaller than our actual screw. The reason for pre-drilling is if you don't pre-drill, the board will tend to split when you're screwing in your screw. If you look closely, we didn't pre-drill and the corners split. The screws used for this project were 3.5 inches long. Anything shorter than that might not catch very well. So all 4 end pieces are installed. Now it is time for the 2 middle boards, and this was easy because we just kept it all at the 12-foot length. I decided I wanted my total inside bed width to be 12 inches and the inside to be 8 inches. So that's what I'm marking. I'm marking the total 12-inch width and then the inside 8-inch width to give me that 2 inches where I know my board has to be screwed in. And I went through and I just marked that on all 4 corners for us to be able to line it up easily. Sometimes I feel pre-drilling is an extra step, but in this case, it is definitely a needed step. Once both boards were drilled into place, this is our final result. We have 2 more boards left to screw into place, and we are done with the actual frame. Like I said earlier in the video, the outside and the inside boards were kept at their 12-foot length. This is what made this project so streamlined. The only thing we had to cut were the end caps to 42 inches wide. We pre-drilled, screwed everything into place, and this was just a quick day project my son and I were able to do together. A problem that we did run into was that this board was a little bit bowed, and we had a difficult time having it be aligned correctly. And here we have it, 2 finished beds. So my plan is for the strawberries to grow along the edges and the blueberries to grow in the middle. However, before I can plant strawberries back in here, I have to figure out this level problem. As you can see, we have huge gaping holes, especially on the corner you will see next. It's about a 3-inch lift there, and if I put soil or anything in there, everything would just wash right out. The solution to this problem was I had to take the bed off, remove all the cardboard, and where there was a hill from the soil underneath in my bed, I dug out that extra soil to have the bed settle lower. And as you can see, I just dug out little trenches and repeated the same thing on the second bed. Once I dug out what I had needed, I put the bed back down and took the level and leveled out the bed and used screws to secure it into place. So here is another look once the beds are level. As you can see, no gap here, and the huge gap that was on the corner here is now gone. So next step will be securing all 4 sides and making sure all 4 corners are secure. Then I will be leveling out the extra soil and replacing all the cardboard back into the beds. All this cardboard might seem like overkill, however, we did have an issue with crabgrass, and that is a very resilient grass, and hopefully this will help keep it under control. If there is a better way to control crabgrass, let me know. These beds are getting mushroom compost. The outsides are almost full and the inside is getting about an inch because we are then mulching it with pine cones. Blueberries love acidic soil, so that is the reason for that, and as time goes on they will decompose and keep the soil good for the blueberries. Moving on to planting strawberries. These are all the strawberries that were dug up from that bed. We are planting the middle-sized runners, so the large original mother plants were fed to the chickens, the middle-sized runners were planted, and the very small baby runners and extra medium runners were then potted up. To plant the strawberries, we spaced them about a palm length apart, and then I went through and put potting soil on top of them, and my son followed me and he watered them down very well. This was an easier method than having to dig a little hole and put each one in a hole. Here we are, strawberries are planted and watered.